we're live.
Right, we're live. Yeah. Conan, the Priestess and Silver Cave, part 4, I believe.
About 87 now, isn't it?
No, not yet. Not yet. Right. So, can anybody remember? We'll start with why it is that you guys are in. Well, we'll start with, can anybody remember where you are? And then we'll say, can anybody remember why you're there?
Buying tea.
Now, that was what you were doing.
Finding a slaver to find another person who knew something, maybe.
Hold on.
I can't remember where we are.
My notes.
We're to the east.
The east of somewhere. It's
Yes.
the west of Hibernia.
What's to the...
We're definitely to the east.
Okay. So you're in the city of Akbitana.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah, you're in the city of Akbitana. I'll tell you what, while I'm doing it,
Looking for the talisman of Tendisha.
No, we're not looking for the. Well, we are, but we're not actually looking for the talisman of Tardessa where we are.
No,
we are looking for a contact who knows of a slave trader who originally may have dealt
about 20 years ago, who then turned into a priestess who we think has since run away because she may know the cave where this talisman is.
Yeah.
Karmat.
Yes. So you are looking for Karmat, and nobody's quite sure where she is. Is that reversed on screen, that map, by the way?
Correct. No, that's correct.
Okay. On my screen, it's reversed, and I thought, I can't remember whether or not it's on everybody's. So yeah, so we you're trying to find her because she will know. You believe she knows where in Southern Koth the entrance to the Silver Cave can be found. You tracked down a merchant in Karaja who told you of a slaver that he thinks might be the one that took her, and his name is Consar, and he is known to be in Akbitana somewhere. So you disguised yourselves as a caravan, or got yourself to Akbitana. You've got sort of various wood carvings. You've got silks,
herbs,
yeah, that kind of stuff. So you acquired some tea.
Dalib's with us.
Yeah, Dalib is with you. He's a guide, and you managed to find Hazu, the son of Adran, in the merchant's quarter of Akbitana. And you managed to buy some tea so that you can impress him when you meet the next day at 2 p.m, I believe. Was it noon? It was noon. Yes, I'm thinking of a different game.
It was definitely noon.
It was definitely noon. So yeah, so you've got a yes. You have a meeting with him the next day at noon, and I think that's where we were.
Yes.
So you guys return from your various afternoon and evening pursuits, crash out, unless there is anything that anybody wants to do this particular evening. We'll cut through to the following morning.
I'd like to speak to Aladai quickly, and obviously we're aware a little bit of his history now without knowing much about him. So he's a very
about him without knowing about him.
Yeah, we know a little bit about what you do without any form of details. So is there any form of herb or drug or something that we could potentially put into our tea that could make our merchant more susceptible to a better trade deal?
Louis, what do you...
What do I think?
We can
He
prescribe.
does have a 2 in alchemy.
He does.
But up to you.
Let me have a quick look at your character sheet for a moment. And try and
Louis was not expecting that.
No, that's all right. Yeah, so you've got a 2 in alchemy. Okay, I'm going to say, and immediately I've forgotten what the term is for a 2 success roll. Make me a roll and get 2 successes, and I'll tell you what you think, what you believe would work.
Okay. 11 and 17, so I believe that is 2. Yeah, that's 2 successes.
No,
It's, no. That's none, because it's below.
That's no successes. There are a couple of drugs that you're aware of that might send him to sleep, that might completely knock him out, that might give him feverish nightmares for 3 weeks. Those kind of things. In terms of loosening his tongue, other than possibly alcohol, you're not really coming up with anything. No.
Okay. I've asked, and I think the straightforward tea option is the way to go then.
Have we got enough sugar?
So I'm going to get my head down for the evening.
Okay. So yeah, you guys.
My plan is to go and find a bar again.
You're going to go and find a bar. Are you going to stay close into where the caravanserai is, or are you going to go a bit further afield?
I'll stay close.
Okay. See if I can. Can you say that again for me, Belle?
I will stay quite close.
Okay. I think that's... I've got the control room, and I'm not sure whether or not I'm making myself louder in your headphones, or whether or not I'm making you louder to everybody else. So we'll see what happens. But okay, yeah. So you end up down. I imagine you probably find the same bar that you found the night before.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Is there anything particular you're trying to do whilst there, or just generally get drunk and
have a nice quiet drink?
That's not going to happen if Actian's there.
Because I do very well at having quiet drinks.
Anybody else doing anything particular that night?
No, I've just come back from the pub because I've been here all day. Round at the mart in the quarter, haven't I?
Yeah.
So I'm going to bed.
You stumble
I
past.
think Baldur was getting drunk early as well, weren't he, when he couldn't speak to the Aram's old man?
He had a couple of beers and then, yeah, disappeared off for other activities in the afternoon.
And adventures.
Allardyce is just now trying to ponder if there is any way he could do the thing that he was being asked, and he's kind of just like, well, that could work. No, but then he'd lose everything that we wanted to tell him, actually, so that wouldn't work. Just got to mutter him to himself. Not really coming to any substantial conclusion.
Bit like this game. Okay, so yep, KJ has a moderately pleasant evening drinking, and
Wow.
eventually stumbles back to the.
No pull?
Was she trying to pull?
I don't know.
Nah.
No. A few ales, some war stories, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you guys wake up the next morning. Some of you probably earlier than others. Is there anything particular that you want to do in the morning, or are you just going to wait for Hazu to come and meet up with you?
No, I'm going to attempt to arouse Kaja and find out if she's willing to go back to the marketplace where we went and pick up some of them pastries that the tea shop was raving about.
The first time you'll probably get growled at. The second time you'll probably get a stone chucked at you. The third time I'll grumble and get up.
Cool.
Okay, so you guys want to go and buy pastries at the Grand Bazaar?
Well, that's
No.
I want to
send Kaja.
What does anybody else want to do?
I want to go shopping in maybe the more martial side of the market. I'm going to go and see if anyone's got any armor stalls out there. I'm not shopping, I am window shopping.
Okay.
More so that I can see whether or not there's any other... What I'm looking for is mercenaries. To hear kind of what they're saying and to eavesdrop on what they're saying.
Okay.
Trying to get a feel whether or not they think there's trouble coming our way.
Okay. So in terms of Akbitana is most of there's a mixed army that is actually based in that's residents of the city, and then quite a lot of the army are made up of the Asurai, who are a Shemish brotherhood of mercenaries. They are incredibly professional and take an amazing amount of pride in what they do. They're the same ones that cut such a swathe through the Karajan forces when you met them several months before. So yeah, they'll be out and about, but they're not. Even without going to the bazaar, you would know that you're not going to... It's not like Karaja, where a lot of the mercenaries are foreign and just sort of general sellswords. These guys are... You saw them when you came in through the gates. They are... They're very, very serious guys. But yeah, you could go and look around and see who you could find. So you're kind of looking for information and just surreptitiously trying to work out.
Yeah, and at the same time perusing what's on offer. If I can pick up better armor than what I've got now.
If you had the money, you almost certainly could, because you could get some that was made of Akbitana and steel. But whether or not you've got the money for that is...
what kind of money are we talking?
You're looking something like about 10 times the price of standard armor for Akbitana and steel.
Right. I've got 14 gold.
Freaking expensive.
What would that get me?
Mugged.
Yeah, there is that. Bear with me a moment. While I get the equipment say. Wait one moment while I whip this out. Yes.
You love us, really.
The really annoying thing is I know that Simon's sitting there with the same copy of this book on his shelf that I'm using. Well, not the same copy, but you know what I mean.
So which
that
one's the real
involves
one?
me getting up and getting it down, Louis, you know.
So
Which one's the real one? Go on.
what armor have you got at the moment?
Baldur currently has whatever
Yes.
it is, it's noisy.
Oh. Halberg?
Must be. I can't see where it's written. I've got my armor. I've got my armor thing here, and it's giving me 3 across the arms and the torso, and then 2 across the legs.
Looks
It's not telling me.
like you're probably wearing. So the cost of, yeah, you see, the cost of a heavy hellberg is 18. So you'd need about 180 to get one of those made of Akbitana steel.
Aladai would raise that we could find some more.
Well, I'm only looking. So that's giving me an idea of price. So maybe I could look at helmets because I don't have a helmet.
Okay, print the friendly version off. Page are we on? 155. Have you got the
He's going to make me get up and go and get the book, isn't he?
Oh, I'm thinking you should have the PDF sitting on your system.
I've got Brigand
No, I haven't
sleeves
downloaded
and
that.
armours, which is 2 all round.
Hold on a moment. I'll go and get the book.
You haven't downloaded the PDF.
No. Hold on a moment.
While we're deciding what armour Simon wants to buy,
You're going to go and look for pastries.
no, I'm sending Kaja for pastries. I'm not silly. I nearly got mugged last time, and she stopped it. So why would I go into a market with gold when she can do it and I won't get attacked? I am going to spend the morning using some of the tea to perfect the art of tea making. I'm not going to do it blind and all of a sudden have him spit it out and be offended.
No, I like this. I like this.
You're making my out of character brain hurt because you're making me walk away from tea.
Just mix all the tea up and then test it on Kaja.
It's going to be a bit difficult if she's at the Grand Bazaar.
He's going to send his best taster away. It's just not on, is it?
Her best out of character
Oh,
taster.
sorry. How do you know it's not in her character?
She likes beer and ale.
Yeah.
It's got to be said. My money would be probably more on Actian being a tea connoisseur.
Yeah.
Not from the sea.
Hey.
Saltwater tea, yeah.
Saltwater tea.
It makes my heart hurt.
Sea salt tea or something, you know.
Sea salt tea.
All right.
Like the crisps, Charlie.
Yeah, just like the crisps.
Sea salt and black pepper.
Okay. So, what kind of time in the morning are you guys likely to be getting up?
Probably about 10, 11 o'clock, mid-morning-ish.
No, I had a good night's sleep, so I'll be waking KG up about 8, half 8.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll be getting up when the bladder calls. After that drinking.
Okay. I'm trying to get a picture of who's going to the bazaar and when.
I'd probably go with KJ down to the bazaar.
Yeah,
It gets
she'd
boring
be
sitting there.
heading out about. Well, I mean, I'd have some food for her because I knew what she was doing. So she'd probably be setting off between 9 and half 9 to the bazaar.
Okay.
Perfect time to get the pastries just as they're finished cooking in there, pristine.
Okay. And what's Aladai doing?
Marvelling.
Probably
Snoring?
off for a couple of hours,
Okay. Anything?
and I will message you about what he's actually doing.
Okay. Fair enough.
He just kind of disappears, like
This
when
could
people
go
wake up, he's not there.
Okay.
Is he still contemplating what we spoke about last night and
Maybe.
coming up with nothing?
So, Simon, what time is Baldur going off to the bazaar?
Mid-morning-ish, between about 10 and 11.
Okay.
early.
That's okay. Because so let me do a quick. I really should have this in a lower. Right, I still haven't finished this map, but it will give you an idea. Let me share the screen for a minute. Hopefully that map. So
yes,
you guys are down here.
in the brown area. Yep.
Yeah, and you're actually in that building there with the big turquoise courtyard. There are a whole stack more buildings. Pretty much all of the streets in and around Akbitana are the way these ones are, where they're kind of brown and the little. So you've got small roads, and then you've got really narrow alleyways that run up and down between, so that people can get to the buildings that are in the middle of the blocks. I haven't finished the map, and therefore there's a whole stack of sort of more Western style ones where you've got like lots of little buildings in there. So you guys are in. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are in this building down here. Adrian and Son is this yellow building here.
Yep.
And the area that's blue here is, it's kind of merchants' quarters, or the merchant quarter. It's not so much the marketplace as where you'd buy and sell wholesale, where some of the warehouses are, where some of the larger traders are. Your retail takes place in
Orange.
this orange area. This is the Grand Bazaar, and I described it last time round. You know, this really is
Oh, wow.
an assault on the senses. And then there's the just so that you know, there's a large square.
Is it gone for anyone else?
Yeah.
Akbitana's disappeared.
That's it.
Yeah,
night time.
to a blank screen.
You were yakking and then it just went grey.
That's really annoying. Shall I try that again? I'll give that one more try. Is it back now?
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, so orange area is the Grand Bazaar.
Yep.
Just kind of mental and cacophonous and really, really over the top. This area here is like a huge square. You get street performers there. You get all sorts of stuff going on there, and it's right in front of the royal court, not the royal palace, which is the big ziggurat on the hill on the west, but the open square. So, I mean, there's other stuff around. That's the Temple of Anu, which you will have been able to see from all over the place, because that likewise sits on the top of a hill. That's the royal palace, which is another large black ziggurat. There's a large temple to Ishtar. There's a very large tower there, which is the Tower of the Grand Vizier. But yeah. But in terms of, so from you over into the Grand Bazaar is not too far, but the Grand Bazaar itself is, you know, there are roadways in there, but the whole place is just a crisscross of alleyways and chaos. So
I will ask the place we're staying for a recommendation of where I can get some good pastries.
Well, we had the recommendation from the tea shop, didn't we? So,
of course,
and that was
yeah.
close, and that was close to the tea shop. So you're effectively going back to where we went before. So it's a known route.
when you say it's a known route,
We've done it once.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, walk past all the armor and the weapons and stuff like that, and turn left, and you'll find the shop on the corner.
Yeah. Okay.
Louis, surprised I remembered that, aren't you?
No, it's how you get to the point where you find the armor that's the question. But okay, so Keisha
Can
heads
Kate
off
take
to
her
the.
direction than I do?
We'll find out. I am going to say, do you want to make
Say no.
second roll of the night?
Say no, Cager.
Or you could fail it if you'd rather.
Is this a question or is this a rhetorical question?
I'm going to be nice, I think, and say let's use. I think I'm going to say let's use survival.
Okay.
I
can now
trying to get there eventually is probably a single survival test. So you just need the one. It's a simple, not simple. I've been reading it all week, and I can never remember what the 5 stages are. But yeah, you need 1 success.
Easy.
As soon as I can actually click on the window, I will. Come on, you can click. I believe in you. I can tell that it's become unresponsive. You kill. Oh.
I heard that. That was in character.
Maybe. Sorry, the web page became unresponsive, so I killed it. It did ask me if I wanted it to wait. I decided no.
Have you got a pair of D20s? I don't mind if you want to roll them. Oh, it looks like you're back actually, but.
Sorry, so how many dice am I rolling?
Standard is 2.
Not 2d0, you twit face.
It's quite a good roll, that.
11 and 5, which is, it's now going to work like magic. Well
It's
done,
probably at least 1.
little thing. And you said survival.
Charlie's
yeah.
gone. I think 8 is the lowest you can have as a 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Survival is oh, come on. Survival sits under awareness.
And I found some things which aren't. Oh yes, I've got awareness.
Welcome back, Charlie.
1.
Yeah, I lost all the video for some reason.
So I've got awareness of 8. So yeah.
Yeah, so you got survival of.
Hang on, I'm going back to my other character sheet. I don't think those are correct. I've got 1, expertise 1, focus 1, which doesn't sound right.
Yep, well, expertise 1, focus 1, which gives you a target number for survival of. I'm guessing that's a 9. It would be your awareness. It would be awareness plus your expertise. So you make your 1 you make your 1 success. Okay, yeah, no, you managed to.
So the sheet therefore doesn't give you the actual target. It just tells me 1 and 1. But therefore, I suppose I can do basic maths of 8 plus 1 equals 9.
I'll have to give you. Oh, is this the? This is the roll 21.
Yep, that's what I was. I was trialing that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you managed to find your way eventually to the tea shop. You get turned around a couple of times, but such is the nature of phenomenal bazaars like this.
I will not be mentioning it to anybody, and neither will Action. He does not know about this.
Is Action with you?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's all right. Mind you, you've not been here before, so you don't know. So
No.
yeah, like I say, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but yeah, basically, it's even at this early hour of the morning, it's pretty full on. There's crushes of people and stuff. But yeah, you managed to find some of the pastries, and you get them. And with the 2 of you, I'm going to say, 2 of you together, you managed to find your way out of the Grand Bazaar, and you've got plenty of time to do it. So, yeah, you make your way back to the caravanserai.
We might be back with less 2 pastries.
I'm fairly sure that Genghis sent you off for a considerable number of pastries.
A variety of pastries would be better, I think. Yeah.
Yep. I think I added extra, knowing they'd probably eat some on the way back.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't make me breakfast, you see. You only made.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to go, so.
So I've just seen what Aladai's been doing this morning, and yeah. Okay.
Sorry about
Right. So Baldur rolls out about 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. And finding your way to the Grand Bazaar is not difficult. They can point you the way. And in fact, yeah, you probably meet Kaja and Actian on the way back. And they give you a moderate set of directions to where the swords and armor are.
if wanted.
Sorry?
And a pastry if wanted.
A pastry if wanted.
And a tea shop.
So yeah, you wander into the mayhem that is the Grand Bazaar of Akbitana. There are people trying to sell you everything from curly-toed boots to Akbitanan steel scimitars that you're fairly sure are made from tin, through to gems, to coffee, to fruit juices, to their cousin's carpet shop, to
Strange pets.
yeah, yeah, basically if you can conceive it, you're probably within about half an hour offered it, all at special prices.
But you've got to haggle.
So what's Baldur doing?
Well, I'm just perusing, and then I might buy myself a helmet.
Okay.
It says 3 gold, so I shall look for a very suitable helmet at 3 gold, and then haggle with the merchant.
Okay. Is there any particular style that you're looking for?
No, I just, I don't want the traditional horned helmet, if that's what you're on about.
They're not. They're not. You're unlikely to find a Sumerian horned helmet this far south.
That's a shame.
There's some nice. There's some ostentatious ones with wings. There's a fair few that have been designed to sort of sit low at the back of your head, but which generally have a turban wrapped around them to keep everything balanced and in place.
I think just something that's just a bit plain, possibly with a bit of a chin strap. Like a Norman helmet.
Okay. Give me a moment.
There are no plain helmets.
I am going to ask you for a society check to see what you can manage to get hold of.
Society. So I have no experience, no focus, and a TN of target number 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should really raise the difficulty by 1 because you're not fluent in the language either, but it is the Bazaar of Akbitana, so they're used to foreigners.
So that's just 2d20, isn't it?
You could spend do more. I don't think you've got any momentum, but you could spend do more fortune if you really wish to.
No, I'm not going to.
Have you got no social skills, Simon?
2d20. Just roll 1 more and.
No, he said he got a 14.
He did get a 14.
I got a 14.
Okay. It's not that you can't get a helmet, and it's not that it isn't a well-made helmet. Looking round, what you become quickly aware of is that there is no such thing as poor armor or weapons on sale once you get into the part of the market that deals with such things. Like I say, there's tourist tat that's available on the outskirts that they'll try and sell to anybody. But once you actually get into the proper armorers areas, The stuff is really good quality, better quality than you've seen in any of the other countries that you've been through recently, sort of on general display. The problem you've got is trying to find anything that is plain and doesn't have a huge amount of ornamentation. There's definitely a sense that you're it's not the way tastes run here.
Oh,
so you can in which direction are you? Well, you could either decide that, okay, I simply can't find what I'm after, or you could buy a helmet of some variety that maybe isn't quite to your tastes and runs to the slightly more flamboyant end of the
I shall buy a slightly flamboyant helmet.
Okay.
The
Turbaned
choice
or
of-
winged?
Winged,
Winged.
yes.
Just let me make a note of the appropriate piece of paper.
Hermes wings or eagle wings?
Pegasus.
Pegasus wings, right? Okay.
They're kind of. I mean, they're not stupid.
Phoenix wings.
They're
On
kind
fire.
of. They're kind of swept back. Think kind of Tower of the Guard in Minas Tirith, and you know they're well done. It's not
Elven winged helmet.
not quite what you had in mind.
Are they on pivots so they can move up and down a bit? Cavaliers. Well, they'd be sticking
Well,
neck
in
taking
fact,
lower
if
to
you-
Cavaliers.
If you swing the wings round, they form the face guard.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, you now have a beautifully carved winged helm. Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Um,
I shall wander back to where everybody started this morning,
okay.
having breakfast on the way.
Not bad for 3 gold, Simon.
With
Don't forget
wings.
the pastry I gave you.
What pastry?
I said that. was-
No, I ignored you giving out pastries.
Oh, I see. Fine.
Okay.
Wow, there's quite a few winged helmets out there.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Can Baldor make me a
Not another roll.
survival?
roll.
I'd like a survival test.
Oh,
Can you
just
get back?
in order to get back, because you were leaving it quite late, and then you were trying to haggle with people that wanted you to have silk turbans and
11 and a 16. And my
I think that's,
survival is target number 11, focus 3.
you only needed one to manage to find your way back. It's
scraped him.
I thought
No wasted effort. No wasted effort.
so you get back about because 11:45, and yeah. So Hazu is due to arrive at midday. You know, if I'm guessing you've had a chat with the guy that runs the caravanserai, and he'll have arranged for a seating area. They've done this before. There'll be a seating area near where the lockup is, where you've got goods stored away. Yeah, there's a burner so that you can make tea.
expertly.
Yeah,
That's why I've not gone anywhere, Louis. I'm making sure the tea process is perfect, that the area is exactly how we expect it to be, that the goods are laid out in just the right formation for him to view them.
okay.
And I also sent you a message in Roll20.
Oh, the screen's gone. Oh, don't be asking me that. I'm not going to give you a figure, but Yeah.
That's slack.
Way. All right. I would like from Genghis. Is there anybody that's staying particularly with Genghis to keep an eye on him and help him out with this? I don't think there is there?
No, I'm very, very busy.
I'm busy.
I'm busy.
Okay.
Priestess.
Can you make me a society check?
No.
Nice 7, I bet.
Oh,
Okay, for society, that's personality, isn't it?
it is.
So
That's scary.
I have a 6 and 0. Oh my god. Oh, success!
Okay. Yeah, you get a couple of helpful hints from one of the guys that's coming out, and you work out how to brew the tea to a fairly reasonable standard.
I'd ask Dalib too. Ah, Dalib's there.
Dalib is there.
Dalib is there. We forgot about Dalib. I didn't.
Yeah, Dalib probably just about pulls Genghis back from the brink when he's when it's coming to getting this all set up quite right. But yeah, so you get the you work out how to do the tea. You get the table arranged, and yeah, about midday, I'm guessing, as everybody's arrived. Or is everybody sitting round? Hazu arrives. He's got a couple of guys with him, but as he reaches the caravanserai, he kind of waves them off, and they wander over to the to sit at another table and order a couple of drinks.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, Ollie, make me a society check.
Oh dear, what's Ollie been up to?
He isn't here by the time that Hazu
If he rolls double 1, he will be here.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Where'd he come from?
What happens when you get? Yeah, no, sorry, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Fair enough.
That scared me then. That did scare me. What happens when you get? I was like, no, not double 20.
What did you roll, Ollie?
I got a 4 and a 3,
Oh, right, yeah.
so I was very lucky.
It's all right. I was just thinking, hang on, what's the...
So I was thinking that at all.
What is he going to ask? Yeah, okay, so let me know when you arrive. It's on that roll, it is entirely down to you.
I will do.
Yeah. So yeah, Hazu arrives, wanders across to you.
So I begin things with a very, very deep bow.
Okay.
And salam alaikum, Hazu.
He salams back and makes appropriate greetings. Nods to everybody. You see his eyes momentarily rest on Baldur, who wasn't at the meeting the other day. Takes in his beautiful winged helmet. Yeah.
So I show him an area allocated for him to seat with nice rugs and carpets and the tea brewed ready for him.
He has a genuinely surprised look on his face, but pleasantly surprised, and sits down and inquires after how you're enjoying your stay in Akbitana.
Akbitana is a beautiful city. Even with the war, there is still much to see, much to do, and its artistic flair shines in everything.
It does indeed. You're very kind to say so. Yes.
So I've got a couple of the caravanserai people to wait on us. So I get them. Call them over to start pouring the tea, and wait for him to sample it first, as a good guest should.
He notes the tea and very nice. Where did you find it? Is this is this part of your stock?
Sadly, no. This is actually of your city's stock. We searched high and low, sampling many tea shops until we found one that appeased my palate just so. And after your delightful tea that I sampled, I just knew that you would fall in love with it.
This is extremely pleasant. I must find out where you acquired it. It's there's a smoky quality to it that's not acrid. So it's very nice indeed.
It's apparently it was the slow drying of the tea that actually gives it this quality. So it takes longer to prepare, but the results speak for themselves. Please, I clap my hands, and pastries are presented as well.
The guy Hazu, yes, thank you very much, and takes a bite, and again just sort of works beautifully with the tea. I didn't know they stocked these here either.
Yes, as we found out, your city has much more to offer than a lot of the locals actually get a chance to samples. So we were pleasantly surprised when we visited your Grand Bazaar.
Indeed, very pleasant. I mean, we get, obviously the city gets goods from as far as the Viliot Sea, the Blacklands of the south. We get caravans in from the west. We're blessed here with the trade that brings goods in.
But surely, from what you've seen, even stuff under your own nose sometimes goes missing to you. And actually, that can be the best. Home is where the heart is.
Indeed. Where do you hail from?
Oh, west. Oh, west. I forget where home is. We have travelled so far. We don't tend to stop anywhere overly too long. Simply picking up more goods and moving on to the next business opportunity, as I'm sure a man of your acumen will understand. Indeed.
And some of your colleagues seem to have come from other places. He looks over at Baldur and says, "You do not strike me to be from here, or indeed." And he points to actually no, he'll have been introduced. He Baldur and Actian. Where do you call home?
Lots of places.
I hail from an Argosian sea, but I have travelled far.
Ah, yes.
Have you not heard the old adage, wherever you hang your hat is your home?
Indeed. And with a hat such as that, you could hang it anywhere.
I haven't worn the helmet.
Have you had time to take it? Have you had time to take it back to the room?
Yes, you told me that I got back about 11:45, so I've had time to put it somewhere else.
Damn.
Also, home is where the heart is, where you feel comfortable.
Indeed. How long do you plan on staying in our glorious city?
We have a fairly large sum of goods to sell. Some of which you sampled yesterday. There are other bits and pieces we are looking to purchase again for the right price before we then consider moving on and selling them at a fair but exorbitant amount at a new destination. So a week, maybe 2 at a push. I can't see us staying here much longer than that.
Indeed, indeed.
It would be at this point that you hear someone coming towards the door. No, your name is Aras. You make armor, and you, sir, you sell spices. No, not Iris, Aras. Okay, no, I've really got to be going. Just you live that way. Go, and Aladai would appear around the corner and kind of eyes widen and is that the time? And nod again to I've forgotten his name already.
Hazu.
And say apologies.
Hazu, you remember Aladai?
Indeed, my friend. I hope you've not become lost. The alleyways are take some getting used to.
Oh no, not at all. I was caught up selling herbs. It would shuffle off quite quickly. not in a shifty way, but just kind of quickly move to like out of the attention.
Okay, so I offer Hazu a more tea or another pastry.
Why not?
So fresh tea is bought, another pastry, more general chit chat about business, whether it's picked up during the conflict, that sort of thing. Once I get to a feeling that he's had enough tea and he's sampled enough pastries, that's my cue to offer him the chance to view our wares in their entirety.
Okay. So yeah, he's. I should be making some. I should be making you make society rolls for these, but I'm not going to be. I'm being a nice man.
I prepared well.
Yeah.
I've spent 2 weeks thinking how this is going to go, and so far it's gone to plan.
Okay. Yeah. No. You bring out the goods, and he looks through them and beckons over one of his associates. Says, "This is Sargon, a friend of ours. He specializes in carved wood, and I knew that he would be interested in these. So, yes, Sargon is looking through the pieces alongside Hazu, and he sort of quietly mutters to him and then wanders back away. Yeah, I mean, he's impressed by the quality of what you've got. Satabus has not given you guys rubbish to take and sell. So yeah, you guys work through the business. Do we want to RP this out or just skip it forwards a bit?
As we said, I'm going deliberately high, knowing that he's going to go deliberately low, and aiming for a slightly above fair price, but we're not something that he's going to be unhappy with.
Okay. I'm trying to work out how to do this because I don't want to just call for a society roll or a persuade check.
I mean, he's seen the quality of the goods, and he's seen the
Yeah.
effort we've put into keeping him happy
Yeah.
and adhering to his customs as well. So
Yeah.
we've done everything to try and bring him on side.
I think you get a fairly a fairly solid sale. He's very interested in what you've got. You kind of get that feeling that he's going to buy this, and therefore you push the price a little further than maybe you otherwise would do.
Yep.
And yeah, you get a price around what you were expecting, maybe slightly better.
Fantastic. And that's for everything?
Yeah, he will take everything as a single job lot.
Fantastic. In which case then, in tradition, the handshake as the seal of the deal.
Yep.
I then offer as a gift the remaining pastries and the tea. So whatever tea is left, I then hand to him.
Okay. He takes that very gratefully, and says if you're in the market for transport goods to where you're going next, you know where I am. I'd be more than happy to show you what I've got, and I'm sure we could come to a deal.
Most fantastic. It has truly been an humbling honor to do business with you, sir.
May the rest of your time in the city and your return trip bring you fruitfulness.
And may the gods always shine on your pocket, sir.
And also on yours.
Fantastic.
Okay, so he makes arrangements to come and pick up the rest of the goods later that day.
Yep. In fact, we hand him the key to the lockup.
There's an arrangement with the caravanserai that you've committed to sell that. All of the goods in there are going. So yeah, the caravanserai will sort out the details with that.
Fantastic.
So we'll send some guys around. So by this point, over a business deal in that large, it's got to be 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
At least, yeah.
What do people want to do next?
Excuse me for a second, but I need a wee.
That's fine. Your character can go and have a wee.
It's all right.
Louis, I want to go and trawl the slaver market. I'm not looking to buy.
Okay.
Maybe what I'm looking for is to spread a few rumours of I'm looking for a certain type of slave.
Okay. Is there a particular type of slave that you're looking for?
Well, have we been given a description of the woman that we are looking for? Do we know what she looks like? I don't want to put an exact description of her out there, but it would be something like, my masters are looking for someone that could be turned into this.
Okay. So you're looking for her as she is now?
No, I'm looking for a younger version of her that could be turned into what she is now. Do you see what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Come on. I am sure. There we go. That's the section that I want. Give me a moment. I'm trying to remember. I knew there was something that... okay, right. Okay. Okay, so you're going to go round to the... there's a slavers market slightly to the southeast of the Grand Bazaar. So you can definitely go there. that's actually probably where most of the slavers are likely to do business.
Okay, before I go off and do this, I announce that's where I'm going. Anyone is free to join me if they wish. So I wander off on my own because everybody else is quiet about it.
Yep.
Yeah. I know we're looking for Consar, but I don't think I'd want to go.
Okay, that's fine. Nobody has to go. I can go on my own. But if I find him,
Oh shit!
I get to say I told a lot of you. So, and off I go.
Okay, so Balder's going off to the slave market, or to the area around the slave market.
Aladai would disappear off into the city again after muttering something along the lines of, "Oh no, he was the armor and he was the spice merchant."
Okay. Dougie, what's Genghis going to do?
After breathing a huge sigh of relief and doing away with some brown stuff that the meeting went so well that he wasn't expecting, I'm aware of the fact that we actually have two missions here. The first one is to find knowledge of Consar, but also we're also required to bring back goods of value as well that are going to aid Karaja in the coming war. So with the sale that's gone on, I'm looking for, or going to go out with Dalib or anyone else who wants to, again, to look at utilizing our newly found gold for items that are required in Karaja.
Okay.
Which reinforces our story, actually, of why we're here.
Yeah. What are you what are you looking at? What are you looking for Karaja? I mean, is it weapons or is it just high priced goods that you can make money on, or?
Well, technically, the money doesn't belong to us. But I'm sure that we're going to have a percentage of that anyway, because it was a good cover story that we came up with. So, I mean, I think that Karaja will benefit with some decent weapons. Again, our transaction is probably not high enough for a good equipping of Akbitana and steel. But we're in a fairly major powerhouse city in the area. So I think we'll still be able to find some very good quality but fairly cheap price items, especially if we're going to bulk buy. I mean, you didn't give us a figure, but I'm assuming that, I mean, we're talking silks, spices, herbs, woodwork, that we've got a fair wedge of gold available.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a bulk purchase of bits of armor, decent weapons, maybe even going into some pottery. Some high quality goods as well. So maybe a small percentage into pottery and the rest into weapons, which again will look less suspicious than just buying weapons and armor.
Okay. I really hate this. I never know exactly. I'll tell you what, make me an observation roll, but instead of making it against awareness, make it against intelligence. So whatever your intelligence is added to your...
Can I make it in awareness, please?
No.
5?
Okay.
6?
No, it's 8, but I've actually got extra rolls on observation anyway. So I get 3d20. My observation is 2, so that would be.
So why do you get 3d20?
10. Because I've got an observation on one of my skills.
Don't know that that doesn't automatically give you another dice. I don't think.
Charlie's got the same one.
I can re-roll 1d20 when making an observation test.
Ah, that's what it is then. Okay. So 2d20. My observation is +2. Sorry, 2 expertise and 2 focus. So that would put me on 10-2 instead of 212. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
So. And I'll definitely re-roll one of them. Success.
Okay, so you got one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There are 2 ways you can go about this. You could either go to the merchants district and try and pick up stuff from there, or if you're looking for either pottery or for steelwork weapons, then you could go into the industrial quarter, which is to the north of where you are now, which is largely pottery, leatherworking, and steel, and go and try and deal direct with where are we? Go and try and deal direct with some of the blacksmiths rather than with the merchant.
So try and cut out the middleman, and
you could maybe give that a shot. Right, I'm going to drop over to Actian and say what's Actian doing, and I haven't forgotten about you, Simon.
No, that's fine.
I'm sitting around having a listen, trying to decide whether to go with him or go to the pub. Making a tough decision. And it looks like it's a good idea to go with him after he nearly got mugged last time. He keeps hanging on about it.
Okay, and what's Cage doing?
Cage is muting herself.
Mutant.
Cage is sitting and chilling. Let's try that again.
Okay, so Cage is going to stay back at the caravanserai. Actian is going with Genghis. Aladai is wandering the streets trying to find 2 gentlemen or possible chaos. And Baldur is going to the slave market. Okay, so you head off to the slavers market, or that kind of district. Not tremendous. I mean, you have to ask a couple of people how to get there, but yeah. So the slave market itself is a large building with roads all around it. None of this alleyway stuff. This is, it's like a big slab right in the middle of the. Right in the middle of a couple of roads. There are various slave traders and merchant places around it, sort of off on blocks quite close by. Make me an observation check.
I bet he can base it on awareness and not intelligence, can't he?
He can, but he's not trying to figure something out. He's trying to look for something. I think your target number's a 9, Simon.
Oh, am I rolling? Am I?
Yes.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, no, that's fine. So yeah,
Sorry, I thought you was dealing with Charlie.
No. Slavers Market.
Okay.
Okay, so you find the like I say, the Slavers Market sits on a small block all on its own, completely surrounded by roads. It's a fairly solid looking building and quite large. Off from it on roads nearby and on alleyways just off it, there are various places that are the offices of slavers. There are various other merchants around. So how do you want to proceed?
Do they actually have any of their, I'll use the word merchandise, on show?
They would do in the slavers market. Yeah, you could if you.
Yeah, I'll go into the market, and that's probably going to be the easiest way to deal with this.
Okay. So you get. I need to have more things open the whole time than I have open at the moment. Give me a sec. I am so out of practice of running this. It is frightening. So.
I wonder where all the time off. Eh?
That's the problem. Is I'm not used to it, and I keep forgetting that this. No, that's not the type of.
Just because you're assistant at university.
Oh.
Well, the chemistry's going to have his relationship, isn't it?
Okay, so you get met by as you walk towards the slave market. You walk through the arched doorway. It's again noticeably cooler when you start to when you get inside. A large Shemite guy wanders up to you. Large in width, if not particularly in height, and says, "Yes, sir. Is there anything I can do for you?"
I shall look him up and down, then with my haughtiest look down my nose, go, "I am browsing."
Indeed, sir. I can show you various types of merchandise in here. Is there anything particular that you're looking for?
Remind me, Louis, when the slave was originally taken, was she just a girl?
Yeah, she would have been quite a young girl. I'm trying to remember whether or not she was 3 or 5, but she would have been around that kind of age.
I have a buyer who's looking for, shall we say, a young girl.
Indeed.
He's wishing to take her and train her in the ways of priesthood.
Indeed.
Priestesshood.
Looking for...
Is there a man in here that will specialise in such things?
I understand. You probably want Fishad. Yes, I'll... if you walk down the corridor, his office is on the outer wall, just a few along. So yeah, if you
so I shall wander off in that direction. Do you want to deal with somebody else now, or do you want to carry on?
Yeah, I will run this on for a little bit, and then I can.
Yes, I'll wander down to the office, and I shall have a good look at the office before I walk outside. Does it look like it's been looked after? Does it look neglected?
No, I mean this is within the building. You have the slave pits. You have the area where the slaves are sold, and you have various offices for several of the merchants there. Some of the merchants stay outside, but some merchants have offices within, especially if their slaves are kept within the slave market itself. So, yeah. So this guy's office is fairly close to the door. He's probably he's either successful or he's burning a moderate amount of money to be able to afford this location.
Okay, I shall wander in the door.
Fishad is quite a slight guy. He's not a particularly pleasant looking man, but he stands as soon as you come in and says, yes sir, yes sir, what can I do for you? Fishad is my name.
I am looking for a certain type of merchandise, and I've been told you're the man that may be able to give me that merchandise.
Indeed. What in particular are you in the market for today?
I'm looking for a girl.
Indeed, young.
She must be young.
Young, okay.
And she must be prepared to take training.
All of our girls are prepared to take training.
She must be. You're gonna have to help me out here, Louis. Would there have been a specific thing they'd have been looking for to turn this girl into a priestess?
There was something. I'm just trying to remember what it is that you. Because you haven't met.
Wait a minute, I do know this. Okay, let me phrase this slightly different way. The people I am working for had a slave. They trained her to be a priestess, but unfortunately she has passed away of fever, and I have been tasked with obtaining a replacement for her.
Ah, indeed. Yes. A girl for the temples. Yes, we have several
Good.
in stock at the moment.
However, I have been given a separate task from my masters. They have asked me to provide some outlay to the girl's family. They were very pleased with her service and wish to pass on a reward.
Indeed, that's most unusual.
My masters are very generous.
Where was the slave purchased in Akbitana?
I believe she was, yes. And I will give him the name. Actually, no. I will give him. Do we know where she came from? We had that.
She was Shemish.
Other than the fact that she was Shemish, that's all you know.
Do we have a name?
You don't have her Shemish name. You have the name that she was known as in Stygia, but you don't have her name in. You don't have her Shemish name.
I shall say to him, I don't have much background about this person. She was renamed in Stygia and she was Shemish.
There are a large number of slaves pass into Stygia. Not normally from Akbitana. Do you know perhaps who sold her?
If I had this, I wouldn't be speaking to you, would I? I'd be speaking to that man.
We do know his name, Simon.
I believe his name went along the lines of
Consar.
It began with a K. It began with a K.
K. How long ago was this slave bought?
Oh, we are talking years. Nudge my brain, Louis. Is it 20 years we're talking?
It's about 15 years.
15. We are talking about 15 years.
That is a long time ago to remember a single slave.
Consar was his name.
Consar. I can tell you where to find his offices. I was about to check my wristwatch, which of course he wouldn't have done. to find out what the time was. Yeah.
Tell me where his offices are, and I will recompense you for your time.
Yes, indeed, I can do that. I can do one better than that. Do you wish to see the girls that you were discussing earlier, or come back and do that later?
I would like to come back and do that later. It was important to our masters for me to finish this business quickly.
Indeed. He opens a back office door and clicks his fingers, and this scrawny looking kid runs out, and he says, "You know Consar?" And the kid nods, and he says, "Take this man to Consar. The boy will take you there. Never fear. He knows the way."
I thank you for your time, and I shall return to look at other purchases, and I'll drop a coin on the desk.
No need, but thank you very much.
And then I'll follow
seeing you soon.
I'll follow the boy out.
Okay. Right. So, I honestly have no idea what the hell to do with Alade.
Don't.
Okay. I may make you roll for this story at some point.
That's fine. It
was
just too funny. So
I'll collar you,
and the
and
kind
we'll
of
see
thing
whether or not you make it back by nightfall. Okay, so you're going to have to remind me. This was Actian and Genghis were going.
Yep.
Yes. Now this was so. Where are Actian and Genghis going to try their luck?
Okay, what I'm going to do is take 10% of the gold from the sale, leave the rest with Dalib to keep it secure, and we are going to try our luck going into the industrial district to speak directly to the smiths.
Okay, carrying. I mean, that is that's going to be a significant amount of money. A tenth of what you brought in on the camel.
Oh, okay. Is that still amount? Okay. 1%.
Yeah. You make sure you have a reasonable amount
enough
of gold
to
with
seal
you.
a deal. Yeah, if we need to, with the rest goods on arrival. And basically, I say to Actian how Cager followed me before, so just behind, off to the side, able to have full vision on where we were going, able to cover me where I needed to. I'm a bit more alert this time, still with my hand on the gold, hand on my dagger, and we're heading up to the industrial district.
Okay. I do have to say, because it would occur to you, not that Actian's any slouch. He's not necessarily quite as obviously aggressive. He lacks was it tact and diplomacy, we decided?
Yep.
He lacks such obvious tact and diplomacy. Okay, yeah. So you guys head northward. I mean, if you keep following the road that the caravanserai is on, it winds, climbs very gently up the hill before it climbs quite steeply, and you can see the giant ziggurat of Anu in front of you. So just because I know what it's like, and I want to tell you. So the ziggurat stands on the top of one of the three hills in Akbitana. It stands to the one farthest to the east. So it's a fairly flat topped ziggurat, quite large, not as large as the Royal Palace, but quite sizable. But what makes it stand out is the head and shoulders of the shoulders of a large, well-muscled man with a head of a bull on top of it, standing 40 to 50 feet out of the top of this ziggurat. and facing towards the city, there is a low opening at about kind of that kind of height, in which there is constantly burning what looks like a large furnace, and in the light of the furnace, the eyes of Anu glow and flicker constantly. So it's quite an imposing sight in Akbitana. The moment you get to a point where you're not constricted by alleyways or roads and you can see up to this hill, the figure of Anu stands over that portion of the city. And you know from chatting to Dalib, from chatting to some of the guys in the caravanserai, that all of the industrial quarter is behind it. You can see that the air above it is hazy, and as you start to get closer to it, you can smell the tang of metal, the tang of the leather workers curing hides. This whole area sits kind of clustered between the temple of Anu and the wall. So yeah, you guys make your way up to the up towards the temple, and immediately you start to see on your right, as you're making your way up the hill, there are various leather workers and potters, and you just know that's going to stretch all the way back for quite a way towards the wall in the distance. So how do you want to go about finding a likely place?
Well, I think to begin with, I'm going to be sort of in awe of this Minotaur-esque statue, to the point I may stop walking. I got visions of Actaeon sort of knocking into the back of me, and me turning around immediately with a dagger drawn, thinking someone's after my purse. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And look up, go, it's impressive, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Fantastic. So
I've seen better, but it's amazing.
Look at him, shocked, because I've never seen anything like it. So for me, this is probably the single biggest statue I've ever come across. So I'm fascinated. We've decided we want we've decided we want pottery and we want weapons. So bearing in mind, you've already mentioned we've come across some potters. I think we'll have a look at the potters first and use them as a source of information for a quality, reputable master smith.
Okay. At this point, I am going to say the two of you work together. One of you gets to roll 1 dice, the other one gets to roll 2 dice. Or you can put momentum or doom or whatever you would like to into it. I think I'm probably going to call for society rolls.
Seven.
I've got 6 and 0.
I've got 7 and 0.
With a view for what, Louis?
Just to try and get information, and if I'm thinking you guys are walking into a Shemish Potter's on the outskirts of the district.
Yep.
And you're trying to get information, talk to them about buying in bulk. It's just a society roll to see how well that introduction goes. In terms of haggling and actual sale, I'd probably look at persuade. But
we're looking at the wares at the moment and just.
Okay, so if it's an introduction, I don't think there's a requirement to use too much on this yet.
No, just go with the straight rolls.
Yeah, I'll take the one.
Okay.
And
we'll
you
let
can take the
Actian-
2 as you've got the higher higher individual score.
So we'll let Actian do the talking for this bit.
That's a fail.
That's one success.
Get in there.
One success.
Oh, nice one, Axion.
Okay. Yeah, and you're kind of on the borders of the foreign quarter here, so I won't be harsh.
I'll make sure he's standing up with us so I can keep an eye on him as well, because he's carrying the money.
Yeah, so...
have a rummage through some bits and pieces, see what it looks like.
It's well made stuff. You tell me, what's the guy you've walked into? What's he selling?
He's shuffling around looking at us. What's he selling? Urns, wine jugs, standard stuff. Amphoras, that'll is. Standard stuff.
Okay, yeah, no, it's well made, it's well crafted. You see, if that's the kind of thing. I mean, I'm guessing you've looked at a row of potters and gone, "Oh, well, looks interesting." So amphoras have caught your eye.
They'll have food storage stuff.
Yeah, they're nice and decorated. They seem to be well made.
Good depths of colours into the pottery.
That's it. Yeah, a variety of designs.
Collection of little god statues, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm running a laptop for the first time tonight, and I keep trying to use the mouse that controls this PC on the laptop, which isn't going to...
I'm guessing that's not working too well.
You know, it's funny. It's not.
Odd.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
I can't quite figure that out.
Yeah. So yeah, as a guy comes forward, he's got a moderately full beard, which is kind of tucked away slightly. It's got little chunks of clay in it, and he's wiping the slip off his hands, and walks forwards and walks towards Actian and says, "Yes, gentlemen. My name is Abman. What can I do for you?"
Just examining your wares. You seem to have some quality goods.
Fine amphoras, good for wine. I do others which are suitable for storing grain. I mean, they'll take anything, and I like the glaze on the one that you the one that you pointed at there. It's we use a small amount of iron in the glaze, and it just gives it that slight green hint to the final finish. But yes, they're nice. Are you thinking of? Is there one that particularly takes your fancy?
Oh, we want some of the more showy ones. We wish to have them sort of displayed.
Okay. He points at some that are on a shelf just up above and says, "Well, there's any of those." I mean, I particularly like the green tint to this one and to this one. The red some people like, especially, as I say, for wine. It's
probably take a selection.
It's
a caravan. It's a trick question, but these are quite bulky items.
They are quite bulky items, actually. I was suddenly thinking that.
I mean, we had a wagon, I'm guessing, but it's still bulky.
I think you decided you weren't going to bring the wagon, and were fairly grateful. So there were the 5 of you plus Dalib, plus I think did we say 4 camels for goods?
Yeah. So it's not a lot for emperors.
No.
So perhaps I should go for the steer him off, and your small statues for the gods. They look very well made.
Indeed. Yes. Well, obviously one does not skimp when one is almost under the eyes of Anu.
Do you have which gods do we go to? That's the question.
He has
Yeah.
what is missing, okay? Because this is not 1930s Cairo.
No.
What he's missing is tourist replicas of the of the temple.
Yeah.
But there are some quite nice small figurines of Anu. There are some of Ishtar. That's mainly what you're seeing in terms of statues of gods. There are some sort of more general statues of warriors, in particular Asurai with bows, some riding camels. Mostly bias reliefs rather than statues of those.
Yep.
Who's the main gods for Karaja then, Louis?
Ishtar's fairly. Ishtar is probably the main goddess that's worshipped in Karaja.
Okay, so I'm thinking, Charlie, is that if we can look at maybe some Ishtar statues. But actually get them to ramp up the quality, so include some iron in some of them, and turn some of them green, turn some of them red. So maybe make some of their smaller pieces, but using the quality of some of the wine jugs and the...
Yep, because we want to be showy and flashy so we can sell them,
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Okay. No, that sounds like a... That sounds like a good idea. So I'm gonna ask for, again, Doug, if you want to put in 1 dice, that's good. If Actium wants to do 2 dice and you're looking for persuade.
Persuasion. Yeah, I'm no skills on that. So again, 1.
No, I'm a fail.
Oh shit. I'm going to use one of my fortune, I think, to try and pull this one out.
I don't think you can use fortune to change a roll once it's been rolled.
I haven't rolled.
Have you? Oh no, Actian has. Okay. Okay. You can use a fortune. You'll only get 1 successor for fortune because you've not got a focus in it.
No.
How many successes do you need?
That's the question. We should know that.
You only need 1 success in order to get him to start thinking about it. Obviously, the more successes you get, the more likely you are to get what you're after. The better the success is, the better the success is going to be.
Well, I can only get 1 anyway, so that's probably a waste of a fortune. Oh shit!
I think we'll move on to another shop.
That's probably a good shout, actually.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 of
Take
these.
the Doom.
I'm going to take the Doom for 2 of them.
Yeah.
And
just let the 18 go, you know.
No. Between the 2 of you, you rolled 2 20s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Admin is as you say it, you can see from the look in his eyes that you've really not. You don't need focus or expertise in relevant skills to know that he's not happy, and he you've never seen someone pale and go bright red at the same time, and he kind of sputters and just says, you use iron on a statue of Ishtar? Are you mad? Desecration. You would bring down her judgment on yourselves and on me for doing such a leave, go. I want nothing to do with you. And he really does kind of chase you out onto the street. And as you get outside onto the street, he stood on the street outside his shop. Just, are you mad? You blaspheme before the gods. And you fairly quickly realize that there are there's now a whole number of people coming out of shops around and close by.
Cycle off rapidly.
Yeah,
Because we do want to buy something, so we don't want to lose all the merchants.
Yeah, are you from here? You could head further in towards the Temple of Anu, or back towards the foreign quarter, or turn from where you are. You could also turn left and try to head off towards the merchant district. But
I'm going to hint to Action that we actually head further in before word spreads. So try and beat the word and head further in.
Get ahead of the wave of discontent.
Yes. And remember not to try and put iron into Ishtar's statues.
If somebody asks about it, it's a misunderstanding.
Okay.
Yes, we heard about them people. How wrong were they? Sacrilege, I tell you, sacrilege.
That was the word I was looking for.
I thought it was.
Yeah. Okay. So you make your way south to the nearest to the nearest turning, and head kind of
deeper.
Head deeper into the industrial quarter. You realise you're probably still heading vaguely back towards the foreign district, but you're heading deeper into the industrial area. Okay, I am going to nip back to Baldur. Couple of streets away, there is a fairly large warehouse, slightly further out from the market, sort of more to the south of the merchant district, quite close to one of the large roads. I'm just trying to get in my head roughly where it is. About that, right? So close onto one of the larger roads down towards the south gate. There's, let's say, a fairly large warehouse. I so miss in Call of Cthulhu. I love the luck mechanic, because then you make a luck roll and then we decide that out. Okay.
Couldn't you just do that as a generic 10 score on a 2d20?
Yeah, there's. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
High or low?
Low.
Okay. Simon, roll me a 1d6.
1d6, yeah?
Yeah.
1 to 3, 1 to... Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say there's a fairly large warehouse. There's an office at one end of it, and this little scrawny kid kind of walks ahead of you, and when he gets there and points and says, "Consar."
I thank him and then send him on his way.
He scurries back quite quickly, heading back up the street.
Okay, I'll head over to the door. You said there was an office on the side.
Yeah. So there's some big openings where you can get camels in, and you could put wagons through and things. But there's an entrance further along. There are either side of the doorway. There are a couple of bas reliefs of a scene with pyramids, and it's carved into black stone. Most of the rest of this is kind of brown. Okay, Belle, thanks for sticking with us. I'll let you know what happens.
Thank you.
Good night, Belle.
Good night, Belle.
Good night, Belle.
Night.
Good night.
So the buildings are all dark, and in some places in the Merchants' Quarter there's kind of outside or ornamentation. Generally, though, there isn't. Most of the buildings they're very plain fronted. It's as you go into them, suddenly they become quite ornate, and they're already packed in. The office to this place has got these bas reliefs either side of the door, with large pyramids and large cities set in made out of a kind of black, probably granite, just either side of the door. It's not gonna. I'm thinking, shall I ask for a roll? I'm not going to ask for a roll. These are fairly obviously Stygian. Or they're giving the impression of Stygia. Quite how Stygian they are, I think Allardyce might well suggest that they weren't particularly authentic, but they definitely give the air of Stygia. And there's a large door in front of you.
Okay, I shall knock on the door and then open it.
Yeah. You step in out of the heat and the dust of the street outside, and it's slightly cooler. It's certainly less dusty and a more pleasant place to be. There are a couple of guys stood behind a sort of counter on the far side of the room, and as you step in, they both turn towards you, and the one on the right says, "Yes, sir. Can we help?"
I am here to see Consar.
Consar. Can I ask? Is he expecting you?
No.
They glance at one another. I see. Can I ask who is visiting? What business you have? I'll send a message to him.
I am Baldur Okamiria. I wish to speak to him of the matter of a girl slave he once took nearly 15 years ago. It's important to my masters. And with this Louis, I'll kind of let the handle of the whip sort of like, stick out my belt slightly.
Okay. Make me a persuade roll.
I don't think I'm going to be good at that.
Join the club.
Persuade. Target number of 7.
You're better than me.
Just don't be rolling 20s. You'll be fine.
2d20s, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
15 and a 9.
Okay. So it's not a success, but it's not a consequence. Okay. The two the two look at one another and say, the guy you've been speaking to says, certainly I'll let him know you're here. You say Samaria, and to do with a girl slave from Samaria?
No. Where did you get Samaria from? I did not mention Samaria. The girl was sold in Stygia. She She was given a Stygian name, but she originally came from Shemish.
Ah. Please make yourself comfortable. And he beckons at a couple of benches. I'm
going to be the most uncouth barbarian I can. I'm going to sit on one bench and put my feet up on the others.
okay.
Wish I brought the helmet.
It would have given you a certain je ne sais quoi.
Pourquoi?
As they say in some area. Yeah. Good.
That's definitely giving me a mental image that's going to stay with me.
Can you roll for that?
Yeah. Mom's too in a minute. Go on.
Play it nice and cool, my son. Play it nice and cool. You know what I mean.
Okay, so the guy, the guy disappears off, and he's gone for a couple of minutes, and when he comes back down, when he comes back in, he says, if you just wait for a few minutes, my master will see you shortly.
Fine. Do you have any tea?
Tea. Yes. We can. We can get you some
Fresh
tea.
one of some sort will be good.
Indeed. Just wait a moment. We'll be with you shortly. Okay. I need a quick break. So I know we're getting on a bit. But if we take a quick 5, does that sound okay with people?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. Thanks. I shall be back in a sec.
See if I can boil a kettle in 5 minutes. All right.
How's your Monday campaign going, Simon?
All right. They're getting on. Didn't kill themselves last week.
That's always a
Didn't
good
even go
sign.
unconscious.
Didn't go unconscious.
No.
I don't think you're trying hard enough then.
Doug, most weeks I spend most of my time wondering how I'm going to keep them alive. Twice now, in 2 sessions, we've had nearly total party kill. The only person that's managed to save them has been the cleric.
So the cleric's been doing exactly what a cleric's meant to do.
Yeah, killing things, not healing them, killing things, so they could then all get up again afterwards. Charlie and Jane were the worst dice rollers I've ever come across.
He's not a lucky man, is he?
Nope. Speaking of which, I need 5 minutes. I'll be back in a minute.
Okie dokie.
Hey.
Hey. What was that video you linked before that I watched with the
Oh, the Hollow Earth Expedition one.
yeah, seeing Ollie sat in the shadows like that with his face barely showing just reminded me of that.
That's my mate Anthony. Yeah, Runeslinger.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that session. Really enjoyed that.
I've run a couple. In fact, I won a competition today on Facebook.
I saw. Did you see?
Danger Magnet Games.
Yeah, I said congratulations, old man.
Yeah. They're looking at doing Ubiquity scenarios, and they said, you know, what do people really want? And the one thing with Hollow Earth Expedition, I love Hollow Earth Expedition. There are lots and lots of adventures that go, so all this stuff happens, and then the characters find themselves in the Hollow Earth. And you go, that's great. Then what? And there is, I think, one that I found that is set entirely in the Hollow Earth. I ran that over a couple of sessions. I ran half of it, I think, over a couple of sessions at the pub. And we had a screenplay, and it was great. And I said, what I'd really like to see is more Hollow Earth scenarios that are set in the Hollow Earth. So, you know, this is how you find your way in, but this is what you're doing once you're in there. And but I've got to say, come on, where are we?
Space 1889 still sounds good.
I have not forgotten. I have Space 1889. But how can you not see that cover and think, hell yeah, I want to do that?
I've been there.
The thought of dinosaurs, yeah.
Indiana Jones with dinosaurs. Actually, I don't know if it is the tagline on the back. I don't think it is. Somebody described it as like Indiana Jones, where you get to feed Nazis to dinosaurs, and you just go, oh yeah. No, that is that describes a game I want to play.
Well, my whole Wednesday campaign is now done.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, the GM's got himself a job and can't commit to anything, so it's ended.
That's not on.
And it was a West Marches style campaign as well.
Oh man!
So every week was a different group, and you literally picked where you wanted to go and uncovered new stuff. Or in some weeks, you found nothing at all. It was brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And when he went, I can't play anymore. It's like, no! What am I going to do with a spare day?
You're going to see me this week, and then
I know, I've got to see Louis.
Right, we got everybody. It doesn't look right, but that's because Belle's not here. Right, okay.
She's here in spirit.
That's right. In reality, she's snoring, but hey.
Here in tea grounds.
She's probably drinking tea.
Okay, so so you're waiting about 5 minutes or so. After a couple of minutes, a young slave comes in with a tray of with a couple of glass with a glass of tea on it. And kind of as soon as you've taken it, kind of scurries off back. Like I say, after about 5 minutes, this really huge guy walks in, darkly tanned, shaven head, and just wherever you can see skin, there's kind of crisscrosses of scars down it. The guy has definitely not been sitting behind a desk most of his life. What does really strike you is, you'd have looked. He's got a fairly Stygian kind of nose, and skin color is kind of suggestive of Stygia. it's the dark, straight black goatee that's been bound. Just screams Stygian. He's probably the most Stygian guy you have ever set eyes on. He strolls into the office, and looks over and says, "They said there was a pale-skinned man from the north with a Shemish whip who wanted to talk to me about a slave that I sold in Stygia 15 years ago."
You must be Consar. I am
Indeed.
Baldur. Yes. My masters have bade me find the origins of this slave. Would you be able to help?
I've taken a lot of slaves in my time. I've sold a lot of slaves in my time.
This slave was a girl, 3 to 5 years old, so she would only have been a child, and she was sold to Stygia, where they made her a priestess. The girl of the temple.
Come through.
Okay, I shall get up quite smartly and stroll through to the office and follow him.
Okay. Takes you down a couple of corridors and bangs on a door as he walks past and says, "Wine." And just walks through. There's a couple of sofas in the place, and he gestures for you to sit. He throws himself into one of the others.
Okay, I take a seat.
Who are your masters?
Let's just say that they are people who do not wish to be identified at this moment in time. However, the girl has vanished.
I can hardly be held accountable for...
We're not holding you accountable. I just need to find her. You tell me where she came from. All I wish to do is go and check whether or not she has returned to her home village or hometown. I can make sure there is profit in it for you. You don't even have to take me there. All you have to do is tell me.
You say I sold her to Stygia.
An assumption.
If this is the girl that I think that I think it is, would it be fair to say that your masters are not those that that took her from me?
Out of character, remind me, do I know that or do I not know that?
If she was sold into, if she was a slave who was turned into a priestess in Stygia, you're not looking at this for the Stygians. So yeah, no, that's a fair statement.
Okay, so I will. Yes, I will. All's very thoughtfully. Sort of like, you know, you'd be correct.
And you say there's a small amount of profit in it for me.
Yes.
There's a quiet tap on the door, and a slave girl sticks her head in, and he says, "Yes, quick." And she kind of comes in and puts a couple of goblets down and some and a jar of wine, and then scurries out again. And he pours you a drink and pours him a drink, and sits back and says, "It's a long time, 15 years. I had some trouble with some old contacts in Zambula, and I needed some funds in a hurry, and I needed some time. So, you know, King Nazurab in Shamir.
Yes.
His father had gone to war with Eric over some bloody rubbish." And I realized the army was away, and therefore we did a rundown. We ended up around by Shamir. We went all over the place, and eventually we took the slaves down as far as Eastern Kush and Dafar. Some of them we got good money for. Made enough money on that run. Decided I could probably do a small amount more slaving, settle down in Akbitana, branch out into other less, you know what I mean. Business.
I know what you mean.
Pleasant.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's the girl, I think it is. We spotted her in a raid, small farming community to the west of Shamir. We weren't taking children generally. They weren't going to make the distance, and there's no point in hauling dead bodies. So there was something about her. It was very striking. Still can't say exactly what it was, but ivory skin, jet black hair, maybe reminded me of home. But yeah, whatever I saw, I think probably was what drew them to the attention when we set into Luxor. Big creepy ass bald guy. I won't forget him in a hurry. Priest took the girl. Two of the best young men that I managed to get too. And sometimes you sell slaves, you get good money from the Stygians, but I'll be honest, I was quite pleased I got out with my skin. But
Can see that.
yes. What was her name? How much is in this for me?
Okay, it's an out of character note, Louis.
Yeah.
Because I'm carrying gold. Is gold? Are we sort of like talking like, you know, gold is worth one coin is a pound, or? But this way, if I put 4 coins on the thing in front of him, is that a lot of money or a little amount of money? Just for information gathering.
Okay, so you've got in terms of gold, there's an amount of gold that you get, but it's an abstract figure. So your helmet costs you 3 gold. It's 3 gold, but it's not literally just 3 gold coins. It's a chunk of money. But 2 to 3 gold for this would definitely pique his interest without seeming too much, I would have thought.
Okay, in which case what I'll do is I'll say to him, "Oh, now how much?" I shall place one coin and then a second coin on the table in front of us. Now, if you remember that name, there may possibly be another coin to go onto that pile.
It's not going to do me any good. Her name, I believe, was Inanna. Say, it's been 15 years, man.
In which case, I'll put another coin down on the table and thank him very much. Thank him for the wine and the tea. And I shall take my leave of him.
Small farming community just west of Shamir.
Shamir.
I couldn't tell you how far. But,
Remember the name of it? Did it have one?
So what was that name again, Louis?
It was a small farming community to the west of Shamir.
No, I think Doug meant the name of the girl.
Name of the girl was Inanna. Inanna.
In Anna.
Inanna. I'm trying to remember whether or not I did give the farming community a name yet. I have a feeling I might not have done.
I'm assuming that you can give it to me later.
I probably could, yes. No, I don't. I've got lots of information about it, but I don't think I actually gave it a name. So yes, he'll throw out a name which
you can generate later.
which I can generate later.
Again, I shall thank him profusely and say to him, that's all I require. I wish you good fortunes in your business.
Good luck trying to find her.
A man has to do what a man has to do. Good luck to you, sir.
Well, we're both a long way from home, but
yes.
good luck.
And to you. And on that, I shall leave and head back and tell everyone else what I found out.
Okay.
Except for Kadja, because she's buggered off drinking tea and pastries, doing whatever it is Kadja likes to do.
I think probably beer. But, right, I am going to go just quickly. Oh, no, say what you were going to say.
No, I was about to say, and I reserve the right to turn around and say, I told you so.
Okay, so if you look there, you can see where Shamir is.
Yep. Southwest of Akbitana.
Yeah. So it gives you an idea of roughly whereabouts your next port of call is probably worth being. Once you leave Akbitana. If you leave Akbitana. But yeah. Do we want to carry on with trying to find pottery, or is that a good place to call it a night?
That is, for me, that's a good place to call it a night, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in which case you sold the goods that you had.
Yep.
You've
Not bought anything.
you've upset at least one potter in the
Industrial
district, and you've discovered the likely name and village of the slave that went on to become Carmack.
Yep. It's not an honest mistake.
So.
And Aladai gave half a dozen people amnesia.
Yes, and yeah, if I don't know that I've got the time, otherwise I would run a one-off of you wandering around the streets of that. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say
I'll tell you what. All I've got visions of him is chatting to everyone we spoke to after we speaking to them, basically saying, "You never saw this person. You don't know who they are." What you do? Stab.
There's not the person you're looking for.
Look at the red light. Yeah.
Here come the men in black.
And on that note, if anybody's still with us,
Which one of those notes?
The G minor.
That was right.
All right.